What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. And today for our Madden 20 franchise rebuild, it is a team that is still near and dear to a lot of people that watch this channel's content. We're going to be taking a look at the Raiders. And I can't say Oakland nor Las Vegas, as, you know, I didn't want to be the owner. And we're just going to call this a Raiders rebuild. Because realistically, you know, they're moving to Las Vegas. But as it pertains to this rebuild, we're just going to keep it simple. We're not going to really worry around, you know, just don't look at the name. We already know they're going to be Oakland this year, and for year 2, 3, 4, and 5, they're going to be Las Vegas Raiders, okay? We did 4 seasons of it. You should know by now, but we're using the updated rosters, so it's very different than the team that we started before even, you know, the day one updates and all that stuff was able to drop, like Darren Waller. That wasn't a thing last time we played with the Raiders. So look at the roster, day one roster here for the Raiders. It starts out, you got Derek Carr, quarterback. Now, are the carpool people going to infest this video and be like, is he going to play with Derek Carr the entire rebuild? I am going to give him a chance. I'm going to go into this thinking, if he plays well in the sim, which is a little bit of a long shot, but if he does, I could definitely play with Derek Carr for 5 years. If he plays like dog shit and he's a $20 million quarterback, we're going to look at the draft. I don't think Deshaun Kaiser or Nathan Peterman is really going to be our long-term option. The backfield, you got Josh Jacobs, absolute monster, 85, hidden dev trade, 21. We got our running back for the rebuild. Even outside of that, you can use Jalen Shard, 25, Crowell, Washington, either one. Like, this backfield stacked for a 5-year rebuild. We're good there. We got a fullback in gold. He wasn't a thing when we did the Raiders franchise. We had shout out to Mark Warren, but so Mark Warren, what is his name? Chris Warren, come on. But Ingalls, yeah, there we go. We got a fullback at wide receiver, Tyrell Williams. We didn't have Zay Jones, who they acquired in a trade with the Buffalo Bills. They got Renfro, Atman, Keelan Doss. I mean, 27 for Tyrell Williams, not a great age for a 5-year rebuild. But there could be something there with Zay Jones. I have seen, we did the realistic rebuild for the Buffalo Bills, that 15-year one, and we got Zay Jones to Superstar X Factor. So, you know, who knows? But right now, at face value, looks like there could be a little bit of work at wide receiver. At tight end, you got Darren Waller and Foss Moreau. We're good there. Left tackle, Colton Miller. He was horrific in our sims, so I'm already prepared for him to move on from him. Incognito is very old. Rodney Hudson is good, but very old. Gabe Jackson is average and expensive. And then you'll right tackle Trent Brown, very expensive. We know how he actually plays, but I'm hoping for the love of God in a sim scenario, he's going to play up to his rating. Because I'm going to be honest with you, probably the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen in Madden history that I've actually played with. So, you know, I mean, just don't give up 20 sacks a year. That'll be an improvement from what we've seen from Trent Brown already on the channel. Defensively, we're going to go Cleveland Ferrell as one of our starting defensive ends, 74. Definitely stings that he has a normal dev trade, but yeah, what happened? What happened? I feel like no rookie should have their dev trade gone. Like, that's brutal. Right in, we got Max Crosby, 75, normal dev trade as well. So they got some young players, but not a lot of dev trades helping them out. D tackle Mo Hurst, the monster Mo Hurst, really, really good. I'm gonna love trying to develop him back up to what we had him as a Superstar X Factor. He was an absolute beast. Partner in crime, you know, maybe more so PJ Hall, but we'll wait and see. Linebacking core, so we already made the move. Abram is a safety, but I love him as a linebacker. We're going to pay homage to the Raiders franchise by this move right off the rip. And I know a lot of people were really peculiar about the numbers. Give him a linebacker number. So here we go. We'll give him 40. Middle linebacker, we got Vontaze Burfict. Got to find his replacement. Outside linebacker, Tahir Whitehead, very old. So we definitely need to double up on getting some linebackers in the draft. Corner, so Garyon Conley was traded to the Texans. So our top corner right now is Daryl Worley, who the only thing I really remember is Philadelphia. I think we traded for him from the Carolina Panthers. And then like literally within like 2 weeks, he got a DUI, was like cut from the team. So he's a thing, but I mean, he's 24, 75. He could develop into something. Same with Trayvon Mullen, 21, 73. But not much out there. Might need to look at bringing in a corner. Free safety, LaMarcus Joyner. He's nice, but he's also 28. It's not a great age for a 5-year rebuild. Carl Joseph, 76. Not that bad of age. We probably can have him for the entirety. Daniel Carson and AJ Cole make up the special teams, but we have those 2 first-round picks, which right now, I mean, linebacker for sure. Linebacker and corner off the rip. We probably also maybe could look at an offensive lineman, but, you know, I have no idea how this rebuild's going to go, but we're going to try and stick with Derek Carr. In year one, we're going to stick with Derek Carr, and I would absolutely love to see one of, on offense, Darren Waller, Zay Jones, or Renfro, get some dev traits. And then on defense, we have to look at some of these DNs, be it Max Crosby, be it Cleveland Ferrell. One of them has to get up at least to a start. We got to start progressing these guys ASAP. But let's get into the rebuild of the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders. So we're not even at the bye yet. I just want to state that we did get the rare. I mean, I'm not going to say it's rare. It's probably like 35%. Maybe not. We'll go 25% of the time that the sim actually gets a dev trait. For Jonathan Abram, he got 9 skill points. So that's cool. So every point of year one, not great. 2 and 3, not as good as the Raiders are in real life. Bottom dollars in the AFC West, but hey, we're going to have 2 first-round picks, and hopefully our own pick is going to be very high. Looking at the contracts right at the rip, Carl Joseph, he's probably, especially for under $4 million, want to get him locked up. That's probably it. I mean, Jalen Richard's not bad for like a set, what's this one? What's his cap hit? $3 million. Okay, Daryl Worley, that's actually not terrible. If he could be like our corner 3 at worst going forward. But other than that, I think we're good. Whew, that was a rough one. Into year one, bottom dwellers in the AFC West, 4-11-1. So we have we're the 4th worst team. We had a tie though, right? It's something positive. Looking at our roster, we had some good dev traits. We had 3 that I remember off the top of my head. Darren Waller got 1. Zay Jones got 1. I showed you the Abram one because we had 9 skill points to upgrade. That was it. I really did want either Crosby or Cleveland Ferrell to get a dev trait, but that was not in the cards here today. Looking at our stats from year one, Derek Carr, not good. Not good at all. 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 picks, 61% completion percentage. Not good. There's no other way to cut it. Josh Jacobs, very good as a rookie. 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Could win Offensive Rookie of the Year, which I think in real life, he's probably the front runner right now. Tyra Williams, 800 yards, no touchdowns. Renfro, 808. I like that. Zay Jones, almost 805. Darren Waller, 704. Josh Jacobs had 4 touchdowns at the backfield. Okay, how many sacks did Trent Brown and Colton Miller give up? Trent Brown gave up 9. Colton Miller gave up 10. That's a lot. Oh, let's go to the defense. 137 tackles for Vontaze Burfict. 120 from Abrams, as well as 3 interceptions for him. 4 sacks Mohurst, 4 sacks Cleveland Ferrell. That is not nearly good enough. I hope to God Chase Young is available. 4 picks for Daryl Worley, though. I like seeing that. That was a great contract from the Raiders. So we got some nice young players here. But, yeah, this is not a great way to start off a rebuild whatsoever. The awards MVP went to Mr. Deshaun Watson. We pretty much just want to look at the rookies, right? So we only saw we're going to have Defensive Player of the Year. Hey, Vontaze Burfict at 8, Abram at 9. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Josh Jacobs. Hunter Renfro coming in at number 4. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jonathan Abram. Nice. Trayvon Mullen coming in at 8 as far as individual award winners. We had nobody. So let's just get right into the offseason and start negotiating with some free agents. So here in free agency, I thought about it. Andrew Luck's just... Get over here. Andrew Luck's just sitting there. I was like, could this be an Andrew Luck rebuild? You know, at the end of the day, I wasn't going to go down that path. So we are actually negotiating on one big one, though. Joe Schobert, middle linebacker. No real good competitive bids there from the other teams out in the Bay Area. So we are going to go ahead and try to slip him up and get Andy Pinero, Gator kicker. So your pick 4, Andrew Thomas, just went off the board and falling into our laps. Not even got to think twice. Thank you. Thank you. Big trust. I mean... Okay. So I think you could argue back-to-back years the Raiders have unbelievable draft hauls, getting Chase Young somehow at pick 4, Joe Burrow at pick 10. We got Najee Harris, Laviska Shenault, who comes in with a dev trait. Sean Wade, again, you're seeing the glitch. I'm telling you right now, behind the scenes, I am recreating from scratch all of my draft classes right now on PC. So you're not going to be like, the first time you make a draft class, you don't get any of these bugs that are super annoying, like Sean Wade, clearly from Ohio State. So they'll be coming soon. We got Nate Landman, John Runyon. I tried to run it back because we had Runyon in the original Raiders franchise. Except I must have made a modification because he doesn't have a dev trait. He did have a dev trait in the original one. Then we got maybe one of the most accomplished punters in college history, Braden Mann out of Texas A&M. But top to bottom, really good draft class. Chase Young, Joe Burrow. Let's go. So looking at our roster here, year number 2 of the rebuild. Fairly simple. We're making a change at quarterback. You know, Derek Carr, not very good. So we're going to go Joe Burrow. Going to be our starter. Josh Jacobs, it's probably easier to go with this menu, actually. Josh Jacobs almost a 90 overall, so that's awesome. That's definitely working in our favor. I didn't know, we had Najee Harris. He also has a hidden dev. Pretty cool. Big hole at right guard. Everyone on the offensive line looks pretty solid except right guard. So we're going to need John Runyon to hit the ground running. You look at defense, we had a dev trait, Abram, because he had so many tackles, he's a machine. He's went from a nothing, a little gold-looking bronze, to a superstar in one single year. Schobert is our big free agency signing at middle linebacker. Chase Young, our massive draft pick, will start defensive end. And because of that, I mean, Cleveland Farrell's 280, no, 270. That's like an undersized D tackle. So we'll play alongside Mo Hurst there. Other than that, no real changes to this squad. That was 4-10-1 last year. Definitely looking upon proving that. And hopefully, Joe Burrow can bring us to the playoffs. Okay, we're here at the bye, and we just got actually another dev trait for Daryl Worley. I don't know, like, I've never seen them actually happen this quickly before at an alarming rate. Renfro missed his, unfortunately. What did Worley, how much XP does he get? 3, plus 3, I will take that. So an early bye, week 4, we're 1-2. Not super hot, to be honest with you, and we have some early contract negotiations to figure out. First up, we have Zay Jones. Definitely want to retain him. He's developing to a very nice wide receiver for us. Other than that, though, straight up, the rest of these dudes, goodbye. Get off my team. So our first year in Las Vegas didn't quite go as planned, but we were better than what we were last year. I got 2 wins more, which is, it's progress. You look at the dev traits that were unveiled. We got a star of Najee Harris, superstar for Joe Burrow, who's up to an 83 overall right now. Really talented playmaker. Better than Derek Carr. Made sense to play him at that given time. Laviska Shenault came out as a star dev. We had 2 scenarios potentially for Hunter Renfrow, which he failed to achieve, which was kind of frustrating. Look at the defense. Chase Young clearly was going to come out as a superstar X Factor. He's the best defensive player in the draft by a considerable amount. Unstoppable force coming off that end. Looks really, really solid. Daryl Worley, as I showed you, got a dev trade. Really good, man. It's we saw some good progress, but why? What happened here? Why couldn't we put a good Joe Burrow? I mean, that is better than what we saw with Derek Carr, but that's also not that generous, really good. I'm starting a first-year rookie quarterback production that we have seen. So, you know, I'm a tad worried. Running the ball, Josh Jacobs, pretty damn good. 90 yards a game, 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns. Receiving, Zay Jones went over 1,000 yards, 800 for Darren Waller, 706 here for Hunter Renfrow. Defensively, Schobert, 107 tackles, 106 for Kyle Joseph, 102 for John Abram, 5 sacks, Mo Hurst. We need to get way more sacks. Interceptions look pretty good in this defense, but sacks need to take a big step up. You can't have Chase Young only getting 4 sacks. So I'm actually probably going to look at messing around with the defensive scheme because this is not acceptable. For sure it's not. Yearly awards MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. I don't think we're going to see any Raiders on any of these lists. John Abram, number 9 for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tua Tagovailoa. Joe Burrow coming in at 3. Najee Harris at 8. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Troy Dye. Chase Young at 3. So, I mean, even our young guys kind of slightly underperformed. So, let's just see here. Coach, scheme. Oh, I don't want to do that. What do we got for schemes here? 4-3 under. Why don't we just go base 4-3? Let's try that. Let's see if that does something. So I want to start spending some money in free agency. We got to start trimming some fat. So Derek Carr, goodbye. Just quite frankly, not good enough whatsoever. Tyrell Williams has not been good enough at all. Easily our 3rd worst wide receiver. So it needs you gone. Gabe Jackson, there's another $9 million we can clear off the books. Anyone else want to go? Trent Brown actually hasn't been horrific, so we can hold on to him. Any corners that are getting vastly overpaid? You know, Joyner's, he's still fine for the time, but we just freed up like $30 million worth of money to go spend in free agency, though. I don't want to go too buck wild, even though we had a lot of money. I don't want to spend for the sake of spending. So we're going for 2 Philadelphia Eagles. First up, Sidney Jones and Nate Gary is the only pass cover linebacker. We need a right outside starter. That's our scheme fit. And he somehow is a star dev. I assume we get a lot of tackles on that Eagles defense. So yeah, hopefully we can welcome 2 new Philadelphia Eagles to our defense to improve our luck next season. Oh man. Okay, so this is a mistake on my part, but it's also tough for Madden. I may have skipped our first pick. The computer handled our first pick. And I was like, oh, well, we picked like what, like early teens. So we weren't gonna get, we didn't like auto sim past a really good player. But they drafted Micah Parsons for us. We do not need a middle linebacker. We have Joe Schobert. So, and we just signed Nate Gary. Like I even if we had a spot, like if we didn't sign Nate Gary, this wouldn't be terrible because he could probably start for us as linebacker. So he already hit with a morale hit because he knows he's not like that's a bad move. So then I redeemed myself a little bit with Solomon Kinley, guard, hidden dev trait right out the rip. We got Abraham Lucas, 68 with a hidden dev trait. 66 there. Zach Thomas from App State kind of sucks, but oh come on, like the one time I sim, man, just why? What in the Madden algorithm said, you know what? Let's get another linebacker. We had to make a move. Made sense. Even though we just signed him, whatever, man. We got Lucas Nyang, 77, younger tackle, younger offensive lineman. We can kind of plug and play. So we pretty much had to find a way to make sense of the Micah Parsons pick. So Nate Gary with the fastest turnaround on it. Like he didn't even probably have a chance to unpack his boxes, and we're sending him back out of Las Vegas to Green Bay. What a change in scenery. Season 3 for the Raiders. Still looking for our first playoff berth. Our squad is good across the board. 85s offensively. Changes that are going to be had. Solomon Kinley makes his way onto the starting offensive line. We did not pick up Colton Miller's 5th-year option just because, I don't know. I didn't really want to. Maybe I'll still re-sign him. Like I said, don't know. Offense pretty much the same. We got Josh Jacobs as a 91 overall. Zay Jones could be a 90 before season's end. Same with Darren Waller if they develop nicely. Joe Burrow, 84 superstar. Looking at the defense, so we got Chase Young, 85. The front remains pretty nice, still pretty promising. Daryl Worley, Sidney Jones came in as our big free agent starter. Carl Joseph up to a superstar dev trait. And so we get rid of Nate Gary. Micah Parsons will start at right outside linebacker alongside Joe Schobert. And our new superstar X Factor, Jonathan Abram, with that zone hawk ability. I'm telling you right now, if you ever do the Raiders, make him a linebacker. So year 3, this team definitely can make the playoffs if they play up to their potential. Week 8 bye, we are 3-4, so that's decent, but it's still last in the AFC West. I don't know what's going on, honestly. We had a breakout player during the bye week. Keep an eye on Mo Hurst. Hey, I love to see Mo Hurst get a dev trait, 75 rushing yards. That's actually one of the more makeable, achievable scenarios that get popped up. So speaking of Mo Hurst, definitely now with that being considered, probably want to extend him in case he does go off. So we'll give him a 4-year deal, just under $6 million. That's actually not bad for Colton Miller. For a tackle like that, you don't have to worry about the 5th-year option. Fullback doesn't really mean anything, but he looks still pretty solid. So we'll make sure we get him a contract. Come on, let's just do this one live. We're gonna bring it to you live. Can we get Mo Hurst a dev trade increase? It's a low-scoring game. He did not. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Year 3 ended up making the playoffs, 10-6, wild card, but we won the AFC West. I will never hate an AFC West title, year 3, and even though we had to run the gauntlet here, our 88 overall squad they're feeling confident, they're feeling good. Joe Burrow, 88, Josh Jacobs is a 94. 94, Josh Jacobs, huh? That's ridiculous. Nothing too crazy. Joe Schobert's into the 90s, Abrams 93 here on the defense. Look at these stats. Let's look at these stats. Right out the rep. Joe Burrow. Pretty good. That's a nice year. 3,500 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 picks in his sophomore year in the NFL. 1,300 yards, 9 tutties. Josh Jacobs. 1,000 yards, 12 tutties for Laviska Shenault. Breakout year. Darren Waller had 8. Defensively, Micah Parsons. The man we were scratching our heads over probably just got himself a defensive rookie of the year. 111 tackles, 12 TFLs, a sack and a half, and an interception. We switched the schemes around. Still, sacks, like, why are these sacks not good? It does not make sense. Maybe we gotta change playbooks. Maybe that's what we gotta do. I'm gonna go. Let's just look at the yearly awards real quick. Tua is your MVP. In the AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Tua Tagovailoa. Defensive Player of the Year went to Tremaine Edmonds. Joe Burrow coming in number 9. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Trevor Lawrence. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Micah Parsons, as expected. But my God, we got to get something better out of this defense. I don't know. Let's go back. Let's go to the league. Who gets a lot of sacks though? Let's New Orleans. Feels like New Orleans always gets lots of sacks. What's Sean Payton? It's a base 4-3. Let's try that then. So let's not mess around. It's only year 3. We're not going to go in the cheesy play of the moment sim. We're going to try. Oh, we lost by 1. It's not a good loss. Losing to the Colts. Losing to, I assume, Jacoby Brissett by 1 touchdown is never a fun thing. And next you have Sam Ehlinger, the quarterback from Texas. Joe Burrow played okay. 2 touchdowns, 80 yards. Josh Jacobs. Waller had a tutty. Josh Jacobs had a tutty. Schobert was all over the place. No turnovers. That's annoying. Let's get to year 4. So for free agency, just going to make one signing. We released LaMarcus Joyner, freed up $10 million in salary cap. And we're going to come in with a hefty bid on Justin Reed, the former Houston Texan. They come in and be our starting free safety. We'll get a recap of our draft. I love the Madden generated draft classes. That's stacked. As stacked of a class as you can get. First round, we got Jose Reed, 6'3", 210, wide receiver from Washington State, hidden dev trait, 92 speed, 82 catching, 83 short route running. Awesome. Second round, we got D tackle LaShawn Ballard, 72 normal. Third round, we got Carl Wilkinson, 71. We didn't get dev traits. We got good ratings, though. Then we get a 68, 66, 68. And this guy here, number 33, true talent. Got him at pick 215. So there's like one of the last picks, like bottom 10 picks in the draft. And we got a legitimate top 30 some talent. So that's unreal. But, in terms of playmakers, hopefully Jose Reed can make it. I'm going to go Jose. I like that. Jose Aldo. Shout out to UFC, Good draft class, though. Top to bottom. A lot of depth. Year 4, trying to improve upon being one and done in the playoffs. Across the board, stacked roster. 89 overall. You look at the offense, it looks good. Out of nowhere, Laviska Shenault with a superstar dev trait offensive line coming together. Top to bottom, still very good. I am a little shocked with the lack of development here from Darren Waller. Seems like he's peaked at an 87 overall. I'd love to see him get in the 90s, but it is what it is. Actually, just to be safe, we'll make Shenault our wide receiver too. Joe Burrow, very close to being a 90 overall player, which is going to be great, as I think that actually helps us out a little bit in the sim. Still, we start this rebuild hoping Furl and Crosby would develop into something special. They're solid, but they're nothing, too spectacular. Our secondary looks solid. Abrams, Joe Parsons, the guy that we had so many questions, so many doubts about, superstar linebacker, outside linebacker, baller. We brought in Justin Reed via free agency. So this defense is just that much better than what it was last year. So I firmly expect another playoff run, and hopefully it ends up with a Super Bowl. All right, bye week, halfway through year 4. We're 4-4, second in the West, but this is an important game here, week 10. Let's just sit. Usually, I just want to sim and see if we get a good idea of how the season's going to finish out. And we win. There's a nice little momentum shift. 5-4, beating the top dogs within the division, so I'll take that. Contract. So for whatever reason, I got 50-year options for everyone except Jonathan Abram, which shouldn't he have it? He's a first-round pick. But either way, $102 million. He's our boy. He's probably going to become if we're making it all-time, through all the Maddens, an all-time team, which, that could be a great video someday. Obviously, you probably put Tom Savage at quarterback, P.L. Mullins at running back. I think Jonathan Abram makes that team at linebacker. That's just me anyways. We got Rodney Hudson on a 1-year deal. We don't have anyone that can probably replace him, so we'll try to negotiate that. Trent Brown's been solid. Hasn't regressed too hard. So, it's not that bad. We got a lot of just, Max Crosby hasn't, I feel like worst case scenario, we can bring him back. Same with Trayvon Mullen. Renfro has been solid in the slot. We'll see if we can get him back. He wants more money. Maybe Trayvon Mullen, just because you don't want corners to hit the open market. That's under $4 million per year. Well, Max Crosby. Oh, that's a lot for Max Crosby. I don't think he's ever got more than 3 sacks in a year. So we're gonna wait and see. But I do think we will, for Rodney Hudson and Hunter Renfro, try to negotiate them house And, but yeah, we got Abram locked up. That's the big one. Oh, baby. Year 4 first round bye. The GM wants to congratulate me. Thank you. I have not checked the standings yet, but we're going to keep our guys, whatever, morale for whatever that's worth. Hopefully that helps us in the sim. But there is our second AFC West title. Our team's 92 overall. It's looking good. It's feeling good. You look good. You play good. Joe Burrow finally having a breakout year. 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, as well as 72% completion percentage. 1,400 yards, 11 tutties for Josh Jacobs. No dominant wide receiver, but still pretty good years from Zay Jones, Renfro, Darren Waller, Laviska Shenault. I'll take all of that. Defensively, Darrell Warley, the team, 97 tackles, 3 interceptions. We got 8.5 sacks from Chase Young, 7 from Max Crosby, 4 picks Micah Parsons. I mean, yeah, I guess I might have expected a little bit better from that defense, but we had the number 1 offense in the NFL. We had the probably top 10, number 6 defense they're putting together. Josh Allen is your MVP. Joe Burrow coming in at number 10. Offensive player of the year went to Josh Allen. Joe Burrow at 8. Defensive player of the year, C.J. Mosley. Rashad Evans or Micah Parsons. So we're Rashad Evans. Micah Parsons number 9. Offensive rookie. I mean, who cares about these ones? Do we get coach of the year by any chance? Nah, come on. Gruden at 6. That's not a Gruden grinder. Let's forget who we're going to be taking on in the AFC divisional round. We don't have to run the gauntlet and ride the rip. It is the 10-6 LA Chargers. And we knock them off 17-10. Low scoring battle. It's we didn't get to see that defense at any time we played so far. But when the sim, they show up. And Joe Burrow outduels Justin Herbert. Good game from Josh Jacobs. What do we got here? No sacks, no picks. Okay. Only matters is the scoreboard. They held 10. So in the conference championship, 10-6 Colts, Super Bowl on the line. And just like that, the Raiders are heading to the Super Bowl. 21, that's a weird score. 11, I assume there would have been like a safety mixed in there. Okay, what do we got here? Quick look at the box score. Joe Burrow, clean performance. 2 touchdowns, no picks, 140 yards, and a touchdown for Josh Jacobs. Darren Waller had a touchdown. Defensively got after the quarterback a little bit. 2 interceptions for the veteran Carl Joseph as it awaits the Super Bowl against the Giants. Are you going to hop in this game, C4? You goddamn right we are. Oh my God, it's a free shot. Oh, Laviska Shenault right off the rip. They went all in. All out blitz. Shenault on a slower corner and DeAndre Baker. Hell yeah. All day. Ties this game back up at 7. Oh, let's go. Look at the blocking. Najee Harris, the second head of our Alabama two-headed monster, just runs that in. Phenomenal blocking from the Raiders. All right, 3rd and 13. I think Renfro's going to be the guy we want to go to. I don't know if we can fit that in. Oh, that was pretty good coverage. Joe Burrow's been lethal. Only 6 attempts in the first half. We'll have to settle for a field goal. All right, we can probably sim. Oh, no. I was going to say we probably could sim this one out. Oh, yeah, we can. They can get the job done. This team's too good. 39-20. We're skunking them. This is a skunking. This is another successful rebuild in the book. We still got one more year to try to make it 2 Super Bowl titles. But it looks like Marcus Mariota, Saquon Barkley, Mike Tomlin couldn't get it done for the Giants. Hey, at least they moved on from Pat Shurmur. Okay, that's a positive. That's the equivalent of winning the Super Bowl within itself. But the boys are excited. John Gruden, that's his 2nd Super Bowl title. First one with the Raiders. Good team, man. Joe Burrow was very accurate. I still can't believe we got that opening shot. Just all-out blitz. Laviska Shenault, 92, 93 speed. DeAndre Baker, small, 88 speed, somewhere in that territory. It was good, man. Joe Burrow scrambled when he had to. And we got some production out of our backup runner in Najee Harris. Spelling in for Josh Jacobs here and there. That's a Super Bowl win. I think that's 2 rebuilds in a row. We've won the Super Bowl, which is pretty damn good. I'm gonna have another rebuild. You don't have to wait a full week. Why am I acting like I'm wrapping this up? You don't have to wait a full week because there might be one coming on Christmas. We almost have a tradition that every Christmas I drop a rebuild. But Joe Burrow is your Super Bowl MVP. 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That 56% completion percentage is not nothing to brag about. But it's a big win, man. It's a big win for this Raiders squad. And as I stated, this is only year 4, so we still have one more year. I don't think, while we're just waiting around, I'm going to open up my little Excel sheet if I can, which I can't. I don't think we've had a rebuild yet that we've won 2 Super Bowls in. Because obviously Madden Sim's like, oh, you win the Super Bowl? Let's make sure you don't even win your division the next year. But let's try to win another one. Let's see if Joe Burrow can win deuce titles here for the Raiders. For our final free agency period, I mean, this is just, we gotta, like, why not, right? Like, we have all this money. You might as well spend all the money. I was just gonna get Rashawn Gary, and I thought, like, man, Devin Bush coming to that linebacking core would be unreal, even though we have Schobert there. But why not, right? Let's give Rashawn Gary to come, and we'll flip into defensive end, and then just have a Devin Bush, Micah Parsons, John Abram linebacking core. Nasty. And for our final draft, your Super Bowl champions. I pretty much bailed after this pick, Lincoln Harris. Let's see, they didn't draft anyone good. We got Lincoln Harris, 4th round guard, 68. We got Forbes here, 72. He's practically going the 6th round. We just drafted him because he's the only good guy on our draft board. 72 normal. We had a 68 normal here in Paul Chapman. And our top pick, not a great depth trade. Overall is fine. Daniel Crawford, the corner from Utah State, 70 overall. Solid speed, cover stats. You know, he's a guy, work in progress type player. But overall, not a great draft class, but does it matter? Because we're Super Bowl champs, and in free agency, we brought in Rashawn Gary and Devin Bush. Back in the saddle again, 93 overall, with a 96 defense. I think that's a record, the highest overall defense we've had in a rebuild. The Raiders are back to defend their Super Bowl title on offense, led by 93 overall Joe Burrow. Finally, it took 4 years for Josh Jacobs to go up in a dev trade, but he has solidified himself, I think, top 5 running back in this Madden little world that we got. Offensive line, very good. Average overall, probably, what, 85, 84, 85, somewhere in that territory. Seeing some regression in Darren Waller. Not cool, but, you know, it is what it is. Defense, I want to see what this 96 overall defense looks like. So we have Parsons, Devin Bush, and John Abram. Carl Joseph, I mean, yeah. Cleveland Ferrell still hanging on there. This team's stacked. Still, I would like to see, I'd like to challenge because this team's so good. I want to see some sacks. I think, what, like 7 sacks is the most we've had? I want to see more. I want to see Chase Young really take the season over here. Finally have a breakout year. He has unstoppable force, but I don't think he's got more than, what's the most sacks he has, 5? 8.5. Okay, so 8.5. I want to see more than that. I want to see 18.5, okay? So let's go. Year 5, defend the Super Bowl title, get back into the playoffs. I know that sounds impossible in a Madden 20 franchise, but I think we can do it. Oh boy. So I think it's Rodney. I think this is the scenario you get when it's his last one. He's retiring. Can we win it? Can we win another one for Rodney Hudson? Oh my God, we were 5-2 at the midway point. We finished 9-7, so we went 2-5 down the stretch. Still the playoffs. Didn't get a title. It's annoying. Trust me, very annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. At least we made the playoffs. Joe Burrow, down year in comparison to last year. 10% off the completion percentage. So he just, for whatever reason, just kept throwing errant passes this year. Big year, Josh Jacobs. That backfield is pretty nasty. Renfro led the team in receiving. 8 touchdowns, Darren Waller. Defensively, Abrams tank, 123 tackles. Devin Bush, 105. We got 11 sacks for Rashawn Gary. 8.5 Micah Parsons, 7 Hurst, 7 Ferrell. Why did you not play well? It makes no sense. Sidney Jones on the team, 3 interceptions, yearly awards, MVP, Patrick Mahomes. I don't think we're gonna have anyone anywhere. Josh Jacobs, number 4 running back. Gee, we had to go that far to find any of our players. Oh. Not okay. Rashawn Gary, number 2 DL. Mo Hurst, number 10 for linebacker. DB. Sidney Jones, number 3 DB. We have the best kicker at least. Oh, we didn't even have that. Really a down year, but hey, we can go on a run. It's the years that you never expect anything that you actually start winning. So we kick out the wild card against 9-7 Jets, and we just barely beat them, 21-17. I don't even care what the box score on that game. It's probably ugly, probably disappointing. So now we have a chance. 13-3 Colts. They got Sam Ellinger at quarterback. Clearly, we should win. And we get skunked. 31-17 is how this all ends for the Raiders. 1 Super Bowl title, successful rebuild, but getting bumped by Sam Ellinger. I was going to say, and Deshaun Watson. What did they do? They run it? Yeah, 3 touchdowns. Marlon Mack, Kareem Hunt, same. Okay. For us, Darren Waller, big game for sure. Abrams, 14 tackles. We're not getting much from our defense in these sims. We haven't had many sacks, many picks. Okay. Well, we got, 2 divisional titles and a Super Bowl here in the rebuild for the Raiders. And given some of the rebuilds we've done here in Madden 20, it could have been no titles, no Super Bowls, big red going in my spreadsheet for a failed rebuild. But it's a successful one here for the Raiders. So I hope you guys did enjoy that. We had a couple homages to the Raiders franchise. We got John Abram. I mean, how is it really an homage if you really just use the players that you have? But we made Josh Jacobs a beast. We drafted John Runyon. We made Abram a linebacker, which he dominated at. Mo Hurst developed very, very nicely. So there's a couple little hints at the original Raiders franchise. But anyways, that is for me today, guys. Because I actually forgot there's football on Saturday, so I'm going to render this video up and hopefully we can win. Hopefully, I'm in my 2 fantasy football playoff finals. I can bring it home. Daddy can bring it home for the 2nd straight year, winning both my leagues because it's dominance is what I'm about. But thank you guys for watching. As always, maybe leave a comment in the comment section below what rebuild you want to see drop on Christmas. We'll make it a cool special one. I don't know. It's the first time stopping by. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, I never. Not me, I never. Not me, I never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid.